CNN has reported obtaining an audio recording in which former President Donald Trump appears to have acknowledged keeping a classified document after leaving the White House. Mr. Trump has pleaded not guilty to federal charges of mishandling sensitive documents. The 2-minute recording is said to have come from a July 2021 meeting at his Bedminster, New Jersey golf club between him and several people working on the memoir of his former chief of staff, Mark Meadows. Mr. Trump is heard saying these are the papers referring to a document about Iran, which he calls highly confidential. In the recording, Mr. Trump says, "This was done by the military and given to me. See, as president, I could have declassified it. Now I can't. But this is still a secret." The same audio recording is said to have been cited by federal prosecutors in their indictment of the former president.
Killing thousands and thousands of U.S. auto jobs, in addition to which you can't produce because you can't get the chips and you can't have your supply chain.
Well, let's get more on this. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Maria Bird joins me now via telephone. Maria, things are getting rather interesting, I see, with this fresh new evidence about this case. How is this different from President Biden, who was also found to have been keeping classified documents?
This is different. You're talking about Pentagon information. You're talking about secret military records. That's what makes us very different. When you look at really what's happening as it relates to this case in general, the former president had classified things confidential that typically are records that aren't even allowed unless you have a secret clearance to be able to review. And so that's really what we're seeing here as the challenge, is that this is not just information around your typical everyday governmental operations. This is really around those very confidential strategies that could be in place as you're looking at potentially dealing with foreign adversaries. So that's what we're seeing here. And then, as we know too, kind of the jokes around Hillary Clinton's email. So this was a little bit different perspective than what we've seen with the President Biden.
And how does this impact former President Trump's indictment?
This could have an impact really more so on how the judge decides to move forward with the case. We'll have it'll put a dark taint on the indictment. It'll probably make people more open to hearing exactly what has happened and maybe even putting the public opinion of him to be more in alignment with what he's been with the indictment. So I think that's what we're potentially seeing as it relates to how this could have an impact. Is it going to have an impact on the case per se? They have pretty much pulled all the information that they're going to need to for this case.
Right. Maria, thank you for expanding that conversation with us. We got more now. North Korea has held mass rallies in the capital, Pyongyang, where people shouted slogans vowing a war of revenge to destroy the United States as it marked the 73rd anniversary of the outbreak of the Korean War. About 120,000 working people and students took part in the rallies held across the capital on Sunday. State broadcaster KRT aired footage of people in marching at Pyongyang's May Day Stadium and holding posters reading "The whole U.S. mainland is within our shooting range." It also showed participants attending a protest rally in front of the U.S. Navy ship, the USS Pueblo, which was seized by North Korea in 1968. Sudan's anniversary came amid concerns Pyongyang could soon conduct another launch of its first military spy satellite to boost monitoring of U.S. military activities after its first attempt ended in failure on May the 31st. And the weather in Pakistan is wreaking nothing but havoc as rain-related accidents reported in parts of central Punjab province over the past 24 hours has left at least 13 people dead and 17 others injured. In the Punjab capital, Lahore, traffic and pedestrians were seen navigating flooded streets on Monday after heavy rain overnight. The deaths have been linked to lightning strikes and collapsed roofs, mainly in the towns of Narwal and Sheikhpura. According to local media, pre-monsoon rain also lashed the country's northwestern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and southwestern Balochistan province on Monday morning. Meanwhile, 7 people are missing after heavy rain triggered landslides in China's Sichuan province. Over 900 people were evacuated and over 400 personnel were dispatched for the search and rescue mission. The landslides occurred in Wenchuan counties, Banzigu, Mianzi, and Jiangxiagu townships. Wenchuan County was the epicenter of the 8.0 magnitude Sichuan earthquake, which killed nearly 70,000 people in 2008. And elsewhere, Sierra Leone's opposition candidate Samura Kamara has called the provisional results in Sierra Leone daylight robbery, alleging that the electoral agents were not allowed to verify the ballot counting. With the majority of ballots counted, the incumbent Julius Maada Bio appears to have a strong lead over his main rival, Mr. Samura. Bio's success can more likely be attributed to a series of strategic electoral alliances he made in the course of the campaign, including in opposition strongholds. European Union observers have criticized the Electoral Commission for a lack of transparency and noted incidents of violence in some regions during the vote. The Electoral Commission in Sierra Leone has said that it expects final results from Sunday's presidential election to be published later. And we move on to some other stories. The head of Sudan's paramilitary rapid support forces has declared a unilateral ceasefire, which is due to come into effect today in time for the Muslim holiday of Eid al-Adha on Wednesday. The pause in the conflict with the Sudanese army was announced in an audio recording broadcast on Al Arabiya television of the leader of the RSF, Mohammed Dagalo, better known as Hemedti. General Hemedti also condemned abuses carried out, including against civilians, those who perpetrated by his own forces. The RSF has been accused of being behind several violations in Darfur. And as the war rages on in Sudan, people in the eastern coastal city of Port Sudan are trying to have a sense of normalcy ahead of the Muslim holiday. In a livestock market, people were checking available animals to purchase for sacrifice, despite prices being significantly higher than the previous year. The war has caused a major humanitarian crisis, uprooting more than 2.5 billion people, about 600,000 of whom have crossed into neighboring countries. Some families will spend the Muslim holiday of Eid al-Adha this week far away from their relatives.
Route builder. Okay, down to the obstacle. Oops, another tumble. Okay, over the obstacle. Oh. There we go, to the end. And the fireman on the left. That wasn't very successful there. So down through the cone, now back. Here they come. Okay. Okay, here to the water. Let's give them a hand here.
And we'll end with brave couples competing in a wife-carrying contest on Sunday at a Scandinavian Midsummer Festival in Canada. The team members identifying as husbands have to carry their wives or a friend through a course filled with obstacles. Friends Eric Blada of Ukraine and Anna Stankovic of Russia completed the course in the fastest time and were awarded Stankovic's weight in beer, which is 51 kilograms. The wife carrying contest has its origins in Finland.
There you go. Estonian on the right.
I don't like the numbers. They say 35 or something like. What's the break line now?
35 grandmasters.
On your mark. Hold on. There's a helmet problem here. Okay. On your mark. We'll get it. There we go. Okay. 4 cases of beer for the winners.
Well, beer is good enough of a prize. Well, that's the program today. Thank you for watching. I'm Joke Rogers. Bye for now.